Hello and welcome to another edition of the Willits Community Theater Variety Show on KLLG LP 97.9, Willits Hometown Radio. You can listen to our show all month long on Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 p.m. To find out what is going on at the Willits Community Theater, please go to our website, www.wctperformingartscenter.org, and check out all the excitement as we move closer to our first performances in the summer of 2021. This month's show is titled Cobbled Together, as the WCT voice actors will be performing 4 short comedies written for the radio by Eric Cobble. Eric Cobble is an internationally renowned playwright with plays including The Velocity of Autumn, a Broadway premiere at the Booth Theater, starring Estelle Parsons and Stephen Spinella, directed by Molly Smith, Fairfield, Southern Rapture, Bright Ideas, The Dead Guy, My Barking Dog, A Girl's Guide to Coffee, and The Giver, and have been produced off-Broadway in all 50 states of the U.S. and on several continents. Cobble is from Edinburgh, Scotland, but was raised on the Navajo and Ute reservations in New Mexico and Colorado, playing with rocks and sticks, seeing 1940s serials at the movie theater 30 miles away, and wandering the desert with his friends, trying to avoid cactus until he was 15 years old. So, without further ado, here are the Willits Community Theater voice actors performing Cobbled Together.
We would like to extend a very warm welcome to one of our favorite guests here on the show. One of the most vocal voices in musical theater commentary today. He's here to discuss his new book, With a Song in My Heart, the new geopolitical and interpsychological index of musical literature in the current postmodern environment. A brief survey. Professor Erudite L. Pedanto.
Thank you. It's an immense pleasure to be here.
Now, in your book, you present some fairly radical interpretations of dozens of musicals. One of the most controversial is your take on Oklahoma.
Well, I think the facts back up my assertions. They're fairly obvious, really. It's not the songwriter's fault that audiences for the past 50 years have been too dense to see them. Take The Sound of Music, for example.
Where do you want to take it?
Well, The Sound of Music is fascinating on several levels. First, there's the obvious level, the retelling of the Garden of Eden story.
That's obvious?
Yeah, to the discerning eye and ear. The woman, driven out of the religious paradise, the convent, of course, finds a new reward in her flock of offspring and a husband. Too obvious. But more interesting, I think, is the very clear United Nations propaganda.
United Nations?
Julie Andrews, personifying America, and its burgeoning role in Europe. If we could play that clip, I think it will be indisputable.
Doe, a deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun, me, a name I call myself, far, a long, long way to run. So, a needle pulling thread, la, a note to follow, so, tea, a drink with jam and bread, that will bring us back to dough, oh, oh, oh.
See? Isn't it obvious? United Nations, New World Order?
Perhaps you can clarify.
Well, if I must. Doe, a deer, a female deer. Clearly, the passive quality of Europe prior to World War II. The feminine yin quality of the continent. Then in comes Ray, a drop of golden sun, the masculine yang presence of America shining like the sun. Me, a name I call myself, clearly, the self-centered nationalism splintering Europe. Far, a long, long way to run. Well, obviously, we've a great distance to go to unify the continent. Sew a needle, pulling thread, the sewing together of a quilt of peace. Law, a note that follows. So, the getting into line, conforming to the norm, and of course, laws, L-A-W-S, will have to follow the sewing activity. Tea, a drink with jam and bread. Now, that is a clear reference to Britain. And that will bring us back to dough, oh. Dough, referring this time not to a female deer, but to the cash needed to mount this huge unification. And there you are. The whole thing is a parable for World War II. Rodgers and Hammerstein clearly knew this, and I think the audience should too.
And what about the Music Man? Is that one really about the Magna Carta?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Music Man is a re-examination of Immanuel Kant's The Critique of Pure Reason.
Oh, of course.
Well, we have Marion, the librarian, the symbol of knowledge and learning, yearning for pure experience, the lure of Harold Hill. But what does he offer her? 76 trombones and pool cues. And we all know what Freud says about trombones and pool cues. But she accepts it. In fact, it unclogs her sinuses.
Unclogs her sinuses?
Yeah, can we hear Shirley Jones, please?
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all, till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all, till there was you.
You see, only after accepting his male yangness can she hear the bells, see the birds, and smell the meadow. His id has freed her superego, and her senses follow. Clear sinuses.
Who'd have thunk it?
Well, me. I thunk it, thought it. Buy my book. It's all detailed in there, with photos, graphs, an index of phallic references in Rose Marie, published by Ballantine, $29.95.
Yes. So what's all this about Oklahoma?
Well, don't you want to hear about Tevye's Oedipal complex?
Actually, no. Please tell us about Oklahoma.
Right. Well, first off, obviously the title, Oklahoma, refers to the ancient Kipali word Oklihuna, which roughly translates as, my tongue is swollen, or, I can't talk to you. Now, Rodgers and Hammerstein knew this.
Why?
Well, because that's what the entire musical is about. A state full of people who can't communicate with each other. Listen to the lyrics. They can talk to the land. Oklahoma, you're okay. But can they speak meaningfully to their fellow men? No. Is it any wonder you get psychotics like Judd wandering around when they all feel so alienated from each other? It's one huge dysfunctional state.
Well, I'm afraid that's all we've got time for today.
A bright golden haze on the meadow, please. What about the bright golden haze in Judd's head? Don't these people care?
Thank you, Professor Pedanto.
My pleasure, I'm sure. Valentine Books, $29.95.
While researching the jazz era, we came across a fascinating, previously unproduced script by an American theater legend, and God help us if we were going to keep it to ourselves. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we dare to present to you the world premiere of Arthur Saxman Miller's Death of a Jazz Salesman.
Willie?
It's all right, Linda. I came back.
You brought all your instruments upstairs?
Just the sax, the trumpet, the bass, the drum kit, the trombone, and the piano. No wonder my back's killing me.
I thought you had a gig in Jersey.
Yeah, a 6-year-old's birthday party. They wanted the Willie Loman Septet to play for a 6-year-old's birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And we got bumped. The clown ran long. His stupid balloon animals. And that puppet show was interminable, Linda. Interminable.
Well, you're home now.
Yeah, we
So
tried
why-
to play as they opened gifts, but nobody wants to hear I Let a Song Out of My Heart when they can watch puppets beat the living crap out of each other.
Willie.
It's a disgrace.
Willie.
There's no culture left.
Willie.
Kid shoved a cupcake in my saxophone.
Willie!
What?
Why don't you ask your agent to book you here in town?
Yeah, they got no respect, these agents these days. If Sid Shoemeister was still alive, I'd be playing Carnegie Hall tonight.
Sid was never your agent, Willie.
Yeah, I know, but he had a janitor's key to the back door of Carnegie Hall. Sid would have let me in any time, any off night when no one was around. Do we have any heroin?
Oh, you know we don't keep it in the house anymore, dear.
All the good jazzmen are on it. A man can't even get a simple narcotic in his own home anymore. Kid shoved a cupcake in my saxophone. Did I tell you that?
Dear, you're gonna wake Biff and Happy.
What? It's 2 a.m. What are they doing sleeping?
Well, Biff just got in, Willie.
Yeah, in my day, we'd be just starting our second set in the club at 2 a.m. The lazy kids these days.
Biff hasn't played a club in years, Willie. You know that. He says his spit valve is stuck.
Spit valve is stuck. The greatest trumpeter this family's ever seen, and his spit valve is stuck.
Happens to the best, dear.
Yeah, he could still be big. He could play at any club in New York.
Yes, dear.
I'm gonna have a cookie. You want a cookie?
No, thank you. Watch your instruments at the top of the stairs. Are you all right, Willie?
Fine. Drumstick lodged in my nose. Go to bed, Linda.
Good night, Willie.
Hey, Happy, was that Pop?
Falling down the stairs?
Yeah.
Probably. You know, he didn't have these inner ear problems when you were playing jazz in the city, Biff.
Oh, no, not you, too.
I'm serious. What's there for you out west, Biffo? What can you get out there that you can't get in New York?
Well, if you really want to know,
What is that?
it's a guitar, Happy.
Yeah, but it's all covered with rhinestones and fringe and crap.
This is how they play it in Tucumcari.
Oh, no.
That's right, Hap.
You're not. You can't.
I'm singing country western now, Happy.
No!
The noose around my neck don't hurt like the one around my heart.
Cut it out.
And what I miss about your beans, it's the way they make me.
Pop hears that. His inner ears will explode.
You don't know what it's like out west, Hap. None of this artsy-fartsy modal improvisation on a 12-chord structure. Out there's a world, a real world, where real men lose real barns in tragic fires, and lose their women in bad hands of pinochle, and lose their dogs in tragic rototiller accidents just at harvest time.
The appealing part's not coming through so far.
It's real, Happy, real painful. Just 'cause I'm blind and deaf, that don't mean I'm dumb.
Biff, you want real pain? You want one more note and I'm going to smash that guitar right over your achy breaky head.
Kids?
Mom.
Mom.
I could have sworn I heard a cat being strangled in here.
That was me, Ma, singing about simple pain in a simple way.
Ha! What do you know about pain?
Don't, Ma. He'll just start singing again.
You want pain? You live with your father.
So he falls down the stairs sometimes.
Sometimes. He lugs those instruments in and out of the house every night. Every night. Man's 60 years old and he can't afford a roadie.
I sent you that $50 last Arbor Day.
He used that to buy cowbells to impress Gene Krupa.
Oh, man.
$50 for cowbells?
And the doctor says if he ever tries to play a high G again, he'll burst a blood vessel in his head and it'll be curtains.
Gee, Mom, I had no idea.
You and he used to be such pals, Biff. Remember all the jam sessions you used to sit in on?
Yeah.
He paid $50 for cowbells?
What happened, Biff? You went up to see him in Boston all those years ago. And it's never been the same between you. What happened up there?
I'm sorry I ever came back. He's always worse when I come back.
I cannot believe Pop paid $50 for cowbells.
Will you shut up? I'll leave again, Mom. You'll see. He'll be fine.
He won't be fine.
What do you mean?
Last month... This is so embarrassing. Last month, I went downstairs to the basement for a can of weenies. Not regular weenies, but those little ones, the cocktail weenies in the little sardine tins. They're spicy weenies. You stick them on a toothpick. Tiny spicy weenies,
We know what you mean, Mom.
Well, I happened to notice a lump behind the water heater. I thought it was just a sack of something. I picked it up. I knew your father must have left it there. And it was...
What, Mom?
Bagpipes. Your father has a set of bagpipes in the basement.
No.
That jerk.
Attention must be paid to a jazz man who owns bagpipes, Biff. He's not well. His life is in your hands, both of you.
All right, pal. All right. I had no idea. I'll stay. I'll get some gigs with some combo. Dad can sit in with us. It'll be okay.
Sure it will. I'll sit in with you, too. I can play cowbells like nobody's business.
Cowbells went out with Gene Krupa.
Pop.
Willie, you still got a drumstick in your nostril.
Thank you, Linda.
Biff was just saying how he's going to get a gig here in the city.
No kidding?
No, I'll need a trumpet with a good spit valve.
Well, you can use mine. It's a little bent up from all the crashes. Bell points straight up at the ceiling now, but...
Like Dizzy Gillespie. You'll look like Dizzy, Biff.
My cheeks don't puff out like that, Ma.
You'll be big in no time, boy. Remember when you played in school?
It was just marching band.
Just a marching band. Middle of school fight song. Who burst into ooby-dooby doodle-bop-a-doop-boop?
Biff did.
My trumpet man.
Confused all the cheerleaders. They missed their jumps and catches. People were being carried off the field in stretchers.
My trumpet man.
Canceled for the rest of the season. Hate mail and death threats for months.
And you can do it again, Biff.
Actually...
You go see Bill Oliver at the Litter Box.
Litter Box?
New club on 42nd. Bill Oliver will remember you from band, Biff.
He'll give you an opening slot tomorrow night. The very night. You'll be huge in no time.
And Willie, you can talk to your agent Howard tomorrow about getting gigs in town.
I absolutely will, Linda. I'll tell him about my son's spit valve is unstuck.
You might find another way to phrase it.
We'll blow the socks off this joint. We'll be as happy-go-lucky as Charlie Parker and Billie Holiday.
Let's celebrate. Ma, do we still have any morphine or heroin in the house?
No.
Ah, Biff, you'll see. What's that?
Oh, it's a guitar?
Yeah, what with the rhinestones and the fringe and crap?
Well, actually, Dad,
Where's your trumpet, Pop? Let's get Biff on that horn.
It's so good to see the family jamming together again.
Tomorrow morning, I'm marching into Howard's office and I'm demanding a local gig. Linda, you'll see.
Pop?
Let's make some music. I'll get what's left of the instruments from downstairs.
I'll just wash off this drumstick.
Pop?
You get that mangy guitar out of the way, Biff. We got music to play. Tomorrow morning, the Lohman family's going to make those nowhere hubcaps pin the outest cats and jelly tots to ever dig a cube.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. Let's jam.
is it, Sugar Lips?
Mr. Lohman to see you, sir.
Ooh, send him in. Right away. Willie!
Howard, my main man, how's it hanging?
How's what hanging? What kind of greeting is that?
I was, trying to be hip.
Hip is out. Cool is in, Willie. Listen to this.
Ye gods! What did you do to that guitar?
It's plugged in. It's electric, Willie.
Well, that is cool.
Haven't worked out all the kinks yet. If you touch the strings too long, you get a massive shock.
I can see your hair's kind of already standing up there, Howard.
Yeah, but what's a little voltage when you're on the cusp of a new era?
A new era, yes. That's just what I wanted to talk to you about, Howard.
Listen to this. Baby, 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 baby.
That's,
It's a new piece. I call it Baby.
Well, that's really accurate. Listen, my sons and I...
All the songs in the style are going to pretty much be variations on that theme. Baby, 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 baby. Ooh, touched the strings too long.
Howard, my sons and I, we want to play some club dates here in the city.
Haven't you heard a word I've been singing, Willie? That old jazz stuff is out. This new style is going to fill seats. We just need some white guy who can wiggle his hips, look good in leather, and keep a beat, and we're set.
I can wiggle, Howard, and I look decent in leather.
Please, Willie, I just ate.
Look, I don't need a big club date, Howard.
Willie, jazz is over. We're in a new age now, and I'm going to call it shock and roll on account of the electricity, you know?
I know, but...
Now, if you excuse me, I got an appointment with some kid from Tennessee, Pressless something.
But...
I'd shake hands, goodbye, Willie, but why risk your pacemaker, you know?
But...
Later, alligator. Baby, baby, baby. Ow!
Hi, Mom. Hi, Happy. I'm home.
Biff, where have you been? We've been worried sick.
Yeah, Biffo, how'd it go with Bill Oliver at the litter box?
Not so great.
No, that's not acceptable. Your father is sitting in the backyard with a kazoo, Biff. A kazoo. He had one of the worst days of his life, and you're the only one who can bring him back. You're going out there and telling him you've got a gig.
But I don't.
Think hard, Biff. Don't you have a gig? Because if you don't, and I have to listen to T for Two on the kazoo one more time, I'm going to put my head in the blender.
You don't want Mom's head in the blender, do you, Biff?
No, but I don't want to hear T for Two on a kazoo either.
I don't care. Get out there and tell him something to cheer him up. Now!
Pop? Pop?
Biff-lolicious. Just warming up for our gig with Bill Oliver. You got the gig, right, Biff? Right?
He sure did, Pop.
Why don't you hand me the kazoo nice and slow, Willie?
Where's our date, Biff? Where are we playing?
We don't have a gig, Pop.
Biff!
What?
I got into Bill Oliver's club, Dad, and I was waiting to play for him, and in the corner I saw a guitar, and I don't know what came over me. I grabbed it and just started playing.
Well, there's nothing wrong with playing guitar, boy. Django Reinhardt played jazz guitar.
Not jazz guitar, Pop. Country western.
Oh, Biff!
What are you saying?
I'm a country western singer, Pop. I like songs about lonesome highways and cheating hearts and, God help me, women who stand by their man.
You ungrateful little whelp. You call that music? You call that art?
Willie, don't.
You want to talk about music? You want to talk about art? All right, you phony. Let's lay it on the line. Tell them about Boston.
What?
Boston? What are you talking about, Boston?
Mom, you want to know what came between Dad and me? Tell her, Willie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, maybe this little theatrical flashback will help jog your memory. It was the day I tried out for Basie's big band and totally blew it. I tried to make an improv out of a tisket a tasket. What was I thinking? Nobody could ever make that song into a jazz standard. But I was feeling awful, and I went up to Boston to see Pop. He was playing at Club Ratatouille, but I found him in his hotel room.
Just a minute.
Pop?
Biff, what are you doing here?
I need to tell you... What is that?
Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. Can you come back in a minute?
Is that a tuba?
No, it's just a very large cornet for the band.
When I came to the door, I could have sworn I heard oompa oompa coming from in here.
Oompa? No. Next door. Must have been next
Pop,
door.
Were you playing polka music?
It's not what it looks like.
My father, the jazz man, playing Lawrence Welk music.
No, Biff, you gotta understand.
Polka, Dad. What's there to understand? You were up here playing polka music.
Biff, come back here. Don't you run out on me. It's got a long and distinguished history in Eastern Europe.
That's what happened all those years ago. I could never look my father in the face again.
Oh, Willie.
I was doing a riff on Roll Out the Barrel.
But don't you see, Pop? It doesn't matter now. You can play polka. I can play country western. It's a big musical world, Dad. We don't have to be trapped here in this...
Come on, Biff. I think you've said enough.
Let's go to bed, Pop.
In a minute.
Pop, if you want, I wrote a ballad about you. I can play it on my guitar.
No! Thank you.
It's tougher than you think finding a rhyme with Loman.
Go to bed. Your brother's right. You should all go to bed.
Will we see you in the morning, Willie?
Yeah, of course. He could still be great. He could bridge the gap between country and jazz, a whole new art form. All he needs is some fuel, a major tragedy to torment him the rest of his life, and he'll have enough material for 12 albums. He'll be great. You'll see. Great. A tragedy. Wait a minute. The doc said if I ever tried to hit a high G again, I'd bust a blood vessel in my head. Perfect. Old trusty horn. Let's do it for Biff. For art.
Willie? Willie, was that you? Be careful on the stairs, dear.
Showed up at his funeral.
We should have thought of that before we scheduled it for 8 o'clock Sunday morning.
That was a bad call. You're right. I almost slept through it myself.
You okay, Mom?
I can't believe he hit a high G.
He won't be the only one. I'm going to start up a combo and play all his favorite tunes on his broken instruments every night with 2 shows on Saturdays.
Why don't you come out west and write sad songs with me, Happy? You can whine with the best of them.
You kidding? And wear a cowboy hat? I'll stick to my beret and turtleneck, thank you very much.
Suit yourself. You coming, Ma?
In a minute. You go on without me.
If I can just find those cowbells, I know I'll be set.
I can pick you up some cowbells right from the source in Nebraska, man. It's all this.
They're gone, Willie. I wanted to play you a send-off. A royal exit for a royal jazz man. But I wasn't about to touch that damn kazoo. And the only other piece of your instruments I could salvage was this trumpet mouthpiece. So here's to you, jazz salesman. I'll catch you in that final club date in the sky.
Last summer, you were awed by his insights into Oklahoma and Sound of Music, and he is currently rocking the musical theater world with fresh revelations in his new book, The Dichotomy of Yin-Yang Tensions and the Prescient Phenomena in the Hierarchical Pedagogy of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, another brief survey. Ladies and gentlemen, Erudite El Pedanto.
Thank you. Always a pleasure, I'm sure.
So, how is the world of scholarly interpretation treating you, Professor?
Extremely well. I just returned from a musical theater conference in Belgium where I sat on a panel exploring the striking parallels between Richard III and You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
I can't say I've noticed those.
Well, actually, of more interest, I found was my paper on the sublimated homosexual themes in Annie.
What?
Oh, please. Don't pretend you haven't noticed.
I'm not pretending.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Clearly, a yearning to claim one's true sexual orientation, but put off yet again for fear of social reprisal.
Right. But your new book concerns Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yes. Well, contrary to popular mistaken opinion, this family classic is not merely the whimsical adventure of a flying car. It's an examination of the United States' schizophrenic response to the looming oil crisis.
Excuse me?
Yes, it's all right there in the title song. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
You're going to have to help me out here.
Well, clearly, the current oil economy is faltering, stumbling. The machinery itself begins to collapse with an onomatopoetic chitty, 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 chitty sound. And then bang, bang! The sound of oil drills finally hitting dry rock as there is no oil left to drill.
Oh, my.
Obvious, isn't it? Clearly the end of the line. But then, how does the happy family react? Do they switch to alternative forms of fuel and transportation? No. They sing their praises to their car and the crisis. Chitty, chitty, bang, bang, we love you. Oh, pretty chitty, chitty, bang, bang. Our fine four-fendered friend. You're sleek as a thoroughbred. Your seats are a feather bed. You'll turn everybody's head today. We'll glide on a motor trip with pride in our ownership, the envy of all we survey. Clearly, this is a family in a codependent relationship with their SUV.
Sounds like it.
And yet, they realize the untenable paradox of the SUV love. Chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. Chits, in this instance, referring to the markers our nation must put down bidding on the price of foreign oil. And of course, bang bang, to the violence and warfare that will break out as nation battles nation to claim what dwindling supplies are left. Chitty chitty bang bang.
Who knew?
I knew, and Ian Fleming knew. Clearly, he foresaw our current crisis 40 years ago. And obviously, the term chitty chitty bang bang itself refers to the ancient Himalayan phrase chili chili boon boon, which roughly translates as, I am paying too much at the pump, or my car is bigger than your house. It's all right there in the song.
I'm flabbergasted.
Yes. Well, there's more flabbergastation where that came from. For instance, the price of my book, a phenomenally low $39.95 from Harcourt Press.
Then what's next? Maybe Mary Poppins is a symbol of wind power used for childcare?
Now you're just being stupid. But I can tell you this. The family with the car does realize what actions they must take to maintain their oil habit. Chitty, chitty, bang, bang, what will do? Near chitty, far chitty. Clearly referring to domestic oil drilling as well as overseas supplies. But once they have embarked on this perilous course, are they concerned? In our motor car, oh, what a happy time we'll spend. Windows up, CD and air conditioning blaring. They can't be bothered.
Well, thank you, Professor, for another eye-opening presentation. Professor...
There's more. There's more. Don't you want to hear about Toot Sweet and the Truly Scrumptious, our indictments of our current obesity epidemic?
Another time. Thank you, Professor Erudite El Pedanto.
As we researched the Italian-American experience, we stumbled on a stunning, little-known radio program which seems to mirror a much more widely known television series entitled The Sopranos. And never being ones to shy away from cheap rip-offs, tonight we proudly present an episode of the soon-to-be litigious program, The Pepperonis.
There you go, Tony. That rat fink Loose Lips Luigi won't be doing any more talking to the feds.
Yeah, too bad Loose Lips wasn't the one talking to the feds.
He wasn't?
Nah, it was his cousin Lenny, lousy oral hygiene Loconi. He's the guy we should have whacked.
Well, these things happen. What should we do with Lewis's body?
Drop it in that ditch where we dumped Mario, Missing Ear, Frank Fungus Toe, and Nicky No Nickname.
That's getting to be a pretty crowded ditch.
You talking back to me, you lazy SOB?
No, Tony, no, never.
Okay, then. Listen, I gotta go.
Where are you running off to in such a hurry? We still got business.
Listen, I don't...
We gotta deal with those nuns that didn't cough up their insurance money. We gotta make our FOP donation... And we gotta unload those 58 crates of prophylactics we stole.
You can.
Personally, I don't think that was such a good idea in the first place, Tony. I mean, 2 crates of prophylactics I can see, but 58? That's a lot of boingy-boingies to unload. You know what I'm saying?
Bruno.
Maybe if we sold them as balloons at kids' birthday parties.
Bruno.
I mean, the Chuck E. Cheese guys might...
Bruno.
What?
You're the deputy of the association. You take care of it.
Where are you going in such a hurry? What's more important than the association?
Nothing. I got some other business, okay? Do you frickin' mind?
Sure thing, Tony. Sure thing.
Hey, Tony Pepperoni, how you doing, man?
Cut it, Petey. You think I want everyone to know when I'm here?
But it's your pizza parlor, Tony. You own it. You run it. You the man.
And what happens if anybody finds that out? Far as the world knows, I'm a nice, respectable mob boss. What happens to that reputation if word gets out I'm actually running a pizza parlor on the side?
It's a nice pizza parlor, Tony.
It's still pizza, Petey. You call it what you want. It's still tomato sauce, dough, cheese, and toppings. And God help me, I love it. I got pizza sauce in my blood. It's the only thing I'm really good at.
You're a perfectly fine mob boss too, Tony.
Don't try to frickin' placate me, okay, Petey? Don't you have some calzones to stuff?
Actually, that's what I need to talk to you about. We gotta make a decision whether to go with a thick Chicago deep dish style or the crispy crust, or both.
We gotta decide today?
New menus go to the printer next week.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
And actually, we got the worst news.
Worse? You're busting my strombolis here.
There's a new pizza joint going in down the street.
In our territory?
On our block.
Is that Captain Tony? Because if it is, we're gonna find more than sausage in the meat lovers combo.
It's worse.
Worse?
It's Domino's.
No. Dear God, tell me you're yanking me.
I swear to God, Tony. I saw the blue and red logo in the window this morning myself.
Oh, God, oh, God.
Tony, what's with the pills? You okay?
My doc prescribed them. To help the stress. I can take 15 an hour. Domino's. Mother of Mary, Domino's. Those guys are gonna crush us like frickin' bugs. I thought the FBI was bad. But Domino's? They got those cheese sticks. Now they got cinnamon sticks with icing. It's over. We're toast. Close the frickin' doors. Blow out the pilot light. Gracie, we're history.
How long does it take for those stress pills to kick in?
I have no frickin' idea, moron. I can't breathe. I gotta get out of here. I gotta see my wife and kids.
You gonna tell them about the pizza parlor?
Who do you think I am, insane? And lose what little respect they still got for me? Out of my way.
He never said deep dish or thin and crispy.
Well, if it isn't Mr. Mafia.
Canna, Carmella. I got a lot on my plate today.
Not just on your plate. You got stains on your shirt, too. What is that?
Nothing. It's just a stain.
Is that pizza sauce, Tony? You been hanging around the pizza joint?
No. It's just blood. Probably left over from Louis' loose lips. We had to whack him today.
You sure it's not pizza sauce?
Look, a man's shirt is his business. Stains and all. Capiche?
What about his family life? Is that his business too, huh?
Carmella!
The beauty shop is still charging me $40 for the tint and style, plus $60 for the nails and pedicure. I told them if they don't back down on the fee, that all the papers in town would be receiving compromising photos of Darius, the head beautician, and his blow dryer. They laughed in my face. Now I want to know where those photos are.
I don't got them. Tony developing fluid Draco still hasn't come through yet.
Well, can you at least arrange a little accident with their conditioner?
No.
Call yourself a mob boss.
Hey, Pops.
Hey, Jay, my boy. How you doing? Come give your old man a hug.
That's okay, Pops. I gotta run.
No time for your own father?
Actually, there is one thing I want to ask you.
Shoot. Oh, I meant it figuratively, you little dip.
Oh.
AJ, you're not holding the gun right anyway. Keep your grip here, with this finger resting on the trigger, and keep your target half an inch above the sight line like this.
Thanks, Ma.
Will you put that thing away?
Well, what I wanted to ask you was, today at school, in lunch line, Todd Wilkerson cut in front of me to get a chocolate milk.
Yeah?
It was the last chocolate milk.
Yeah?
So can you whack him?
What?
Oh, please, your father can't even extort a Ponzi hairdresser. What makes you think he's got the gorgonzolas to off, Todd Wilkerson?
Well, you butt out.
Paging Don Corleone. Paging Don Corleone.
So you'll let this kid disrespect me in front of the whole school and everybody?
It was milk.
chocolate milk.
The last chocolate milk.
Where are my pills?
Oh, hi, Dad.
Meadows, thank God. I need someone who talks sense in this house.
I wanted to talk to you too, Dad.
Give me a hug.
That's okay. Listen, I got my grades back from college.
Yeah?
And in my Threats and Graft 101 class, the teacher totally gave me a C+ on our money laundering for fun and profit exam.
Yeah?
So can you whack him?
No!
You might as well ask him to put a horse's head in your professor's bed. Not on Mr. Queasy Wheezy.
What's the point of being a mob boss if you can't even change your daughter's GPA?
Is that the only thing this family can think about? Mob, mob, mob? There is more to life than the association, you know.
Children, go upstairs.
What's Dad talking about, Mom?
I can't believe you'd say such a thing in front of your own children, your own offspring.
Where's my stress pills?
Benny no cuticle bananas. Dad never acts like this.
I hate my life.
Me too.
Wow.
You see? You see what you do to this family? You think Paulie can't find a remote control Romano pulls this sort of crap? How many pills is that?
Doc says I can take 30 an hour. I gotta see my shrink.
Children, sit down. We've got work to do. We'll have some dinner, and then we still gotta figure out what to do with these 58 crates of prophylactics Bruno unloaded on us.
So what seems to be the problem this week, Mr. Pepperoni?
It's like I'm being torn in two, like I'm a piece of chicken that's left over after it's eaten, that has two parts, where half the people I know got one part and the other half got the other part, and they both pool to make a wish, and I snap, I'm like that,
You feel like a wishbone.
A wishbone, yeah, that's exactly what I feel like. It's like I'm a sponge-like thingy that just fills up and fills up and fills up, and then I'm pressed against the window to clean it, and all the stuff just comes pouring out.
You feel like a squeegee.
A squeegee, exactly. I'm like a guy with two brains in one head, like that mutant calf I saw in the museum one time. Only both my brains are about to explode out my frickin' ears.
You feel like a mob boss who secretly runs a pizza parlor.
No, not like that at all.
You feel like a squeegee.
Yes.
It seems to me the problem is your unconscious self using every method of denial and sublimation to hold together two diametrically opposed facets of your pre-verbal personality. But your stunted inner life is no match for your increasingly intolerable external realities.
I'm like a squeegee.
You're like a squeegee. Why not give up on the pizza business? Walk away. What?
You don't walk away from the pizza business. You go out face first in a mountain of mozzarella and grease. Or your sleeve gets caught in the pie pan and you're dragged to a 400 degree to bake like a ziti. Or you're speeding to deliver some pies downtown and broadside a livestock truck, and you're crushed to meet the weight of 1,000 pounds of cattle and poultry. That's the way a pizza man dies. There are 100 ways to go, but no one ever walks away from pizza.
I see.
Walk away.
Then I have a question for you, Mr. Pepperoni.
Shoot.
I'm afraid I don't have a firearm, Mr. Pepperoni.
It's a frickin' figure of frickin' speech.
No need to shout, Mr. Pepperoni. I've been talking to my own psychiatrist about trying to counsel a man of such as yourself.
Yeah, I'm a handful, ain't I?
And he keeps telling me my problems aren't really with you, but with my own father.
Yeah?
So I was thinking...
What?
Could you whack my father?
What?
Or at least my psychiatrist. He's driving me up the frickin' wall.
No! What is it with you people?
Then I think this session is over.
I just got here.
Here are 400 more stress pills, Mr. Pepperoni. Go nuts.
Hey, Tony, welcome back to the pizza parlor.
Yeah, thanks, Petey.
You don't look so good. Can I get you something? Lasagna, linguine, Mughal gai pan?
What?
Just kidding. Have a slice of onion and anchovy. Manja.
I ain't hungry.
Some vino? It's from the old country. Out near Ashtabula.
No wine.
Okay. But as long as I got you here, I gotta ask you something.
I'm not whacking anybody.
Okay. That's good to know. I was actually just wondering if we should order some more of those red and white checkered tablecloths, or if we should go with something a little more hip. I can get these cute little lacy numbers, like doilies, paper doilies, but bigger.
I don't care.
Also, people are beginning to suspect.
Suspect what?
That all these autographed photos on the wall may not be legit. Like that one of Frank Sinatra that says to Petey and the gang, best pizza in town.
What's wrong with it?
Well, you probably shouldn't have signed it in crayon. Looks kind of fishy, And it's dated 2000. Old Blue Eyes bought it back in 98. Little tip-offs like that.
So take the pictures down, reforge them. I don't care.
And the name of the restaurant, Tony.
What's wrong with our name?
I know you don't want to have any connection between this place and your Italian heritage. Like you're ashamed of us.
I'm not ashamed.
It's okay. If we're something you want to sweep under the rug...
You're not under my rug.
You want to be a closeted pizza man? That's your
I'm not closeted.
Okay, fine. But the name, particularly since Domino's is moving in...
Where's my pills?
I think we need a more Italian name for our restaurant.
What's wrong with the name we got?
Saul Hershkowitz Kosher Deli just don't say pizza, Tony.
Gotta cover my trail.
You're covering it too well.
I need more pills. I gotta calm down. And will someone shut that accordion player up before I whack him?
Sorry. Oh, sure. You'll whack Joe's squeeze box Mancotti, but you won't whack that kid who took your son's chocolate milk.
He told you about that?
He stopped in earlier. Don't worry, I didn't tell him nothing.
I gotta get home. I gotta lie down.
So, you never answered me about the cross?
I don't care.
And for a name, I was thinking a compromise. Saul the Sicilian Hershkowitz's Kosher Pizza Parlor. How does that sound, huh? Well, welcome home, Mr. Wussy Man.
I don't... what's with all the balloons?
Uncle Bruno brought them by, 58 crates full, so we blew them up and decorated the house.
Those aren't balloons?
Can't you enjoy any frickin' nice thing we do for you, you pig?
I don't got any patience for your lip right now, Carmella.
Fine, you don't want to hear my apology? You won't hear my apology.
You was gonna apologize?
Listen, honey, me and the kids... we was all thinking you're out busting your rigatoni 24/7 to put food on our table and a roof over our head.
And a 60-inch plasma HD TV in every room, including the garage.
Yeah.
We realized the extortion, murder, and ruining people's lives was your day job. How could we ask you to do it in your family time, too?
Yeah?
We love you for who you are, Pops, not what you do for us.
You do?
So we're going to forget the scumbags at the beauty salon, and the dirt wipe who cut AJ off, and the piece of filth professor that screwed Meadows over.
Okay.
And just have a nice meal. Just the four of us.
And your Uncle Junior and Silvio Lugnuts and Aunt Stiletto and Richie Paper or Plastic and the rest of the family.
That sounds great. Thank you, guys.
And we already ordered in supper. See?
Is that?
Pizza!
Oh, my God.
Do you like it? It's from that new Domino's down the street.
You okay, Dad?
He looks kind of purple.
AJ, go call an ambulance. I think your father just suffered a heart attack.
Well, can we eat the pizza first while it's still warm?
Well, I don't see why not. Just step over your father there and cut some pieces for Uncle Junior and Cousin Toupee. Big slices. Don't be stingy.
On behalf of the Willits Community Theater and KLLG LP 97.9 Willits Hometown Radio, thank you for listening to another episode of the Willits Community Theater Variety Show. This show will be available to listen to exclusively on KLLG all throughout the month of June, on Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 p.m. For more information about KLLG or to volunteer, go to KLLG.org. And for more information about the Willits Community Theater, go to www.wctperformingartscenter.org. And please consider joining our Patreon, which you can find at the top center of the page. Today's show was produced by Mike Adair, directed by Jeff Shipp, recorded and engineered by Kevin H.C. Moore, and starred Phaedra and Miranda Swearengin, Mike Adair, Kevin H.C. Moore, Jeff Shipp, and Kathy and Aris Vellis. Finally, much thanks to the writer Eric Cobbled for these wonderful short comedies, and you can find out more about Eric on his website, ericcobble.com. You are listening to KLLG LP 97.9, Willits, California.